Hello YouTube, it's been a while, it's been a couple of months. Been very busy doing lots of motorbike riding and a lot of work. But it's winter, I've had quite a bit of riding this winter, quite a bit like commuting sort of stuff going on. My hands are getting freezing recently, so I was like, right, heated grips is the way. I see all the Deliveroo guys riding with the heated grips and most of them are not even wearing gloves either. So I was like, if their hands are all right, my hands are going to be probably quite good in some nice gloves and on some heated grips. So I was like, right, it's time to do it. So here is some Oxford heaters. So yeah, basically, let's just get straight into it. Let's show you guys how to fit them onto the bike. So there's the packaging. Just chuck the packaging over there, don't need that. This is the instruction manual and stuff on how to fit them. It tells you you can cut a certain amount off the grip. It tells you how to fit them and everything. Hopefully my set has come with a bit of glue, because I'm pretty sure I left the glue in my house. So I'd have to go and whiz and get that, but that's the instruction manual. Don't think we need that. I think we can figure this out. So in the packaging, it comes off like that. You have got 2 heated grips, all the wiring loom and everything, and the wiring loom has got a fuse in it too. They say you can just attach this straight onto your battery. I'm going to show you guys how to wire it into key on ignition. So as soon as your key is on, then they will turn on. I don't really like the idea of my battery getting drained. I know they've got a drain safe, but like, it's winter. If I don't ride my bike for a week and it's just sitting here and it's drained the battery and it hasn't had a chance to recharge, then my battery is just going to die and it's not going to start the bike. Yeah, they've got some glue in here, some sticky pads, and the bracket to hold on the off and on button and the temperature stuff in there as well. So that's that. Cool. So first thing that you want to do, so this is how to fit grips onto the Tracer 7. This is not how to fit grips or anything else, but you can get this video and kind of manipulate it into how to fit them onto your own bike. But 6mm Allen key straight into the bar end, loosen that bad boy off. That should come straight out. Now don't lose these bar ends. Take the other one off as well. This one's got like a little, oh, this one's got a bit scratched. It's from the wall, from where I park it. That's alright, I've got a bit of touch up paint. Touch that up a little bit. Alright, so that's the 6mm Allen key out of the way. Yeah, so you can't mix these up really, because that's way too loose, and that's perfect, I'm guessing. Yeah, so you can't really mix them up. Now I've put a bit of oil on this side, and that's, well, I didn't put any oil on that side actually. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some disc brake cleaner just to clean up the surface, because what you don't want is contamination for the glue not to work. So this is just like the first step. So let's just quickly whack some disc brake cleaner on that bad boy. Lovely, lovely. I'll just do it on the other side, just because. And disc brake cleaner is quite good because it just evaporates as well. So even more reason why to use it, because it cleans. And look, you can see all the glue residue on there now. That's alright though, it'll evaporate. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tank panel off. For me, I've got to take this bracket off too, annoyingly, because obviously this is overhanging. And then to take this panel off, it is 4mm Allen key. 2 bolts at the front, just here, bang bang, take those out. those out. And then if you have, I'd say have a little tray or something to put stuff in, like stuff that you take off the bike. So I'm pretty sure. I have some little magnetic ones, so I'll just put those in there, and then the tray won't move about. And then my worktop on the workbench is metal, so it'll stick down to it. And then what you want to do as well is take your seat off. So seat is off now. Now there's two bolts underneath there as well. Don't know if you'll be able to see that. Will you be able to see that? I'm pretty sure I got you pretty good in shot. Yeah. So I'll just move it over a little bit. So just here, on both sides, there's another 4mm bolt, 4mm Allen key bolt. Just take those out. And then just put those in the tray. These bolts are the same, top and bottom. And then just put those away. And then what you want to do, weirdly, is just literally just yank it off. Seems a bit aggressive, I know. It's the only way of taking it off. And then once you've got that off, you've got it off. Now what you've probably heard is some clips probably fell down. So you've got to find the clips. So one, this side is there. Oh yeah, and this thing fell down as well from my tank. So a few clips. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I've got one in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, all my clips are here. I'm gonna leave these clips in here. And then hopefully when I line this up, it will clip in nicely. But I think, I haven't done this for a while, but I think what I did last time was I took the clips out of the frame, like this, and I clipped them back on here, because it's quite hard to line this up. These are like slotted, so I'll do that quickly, just take all these clips out. Now obviously you don't want to scratch this up, so try like laying it down somewhere. So I'll take these clips out. Now, all you have to do is put your fingernails on both sides of the clip, and then squeeze in and then pull. It's quite easy. I'm sure there's a tool out there to make it easier. But, I mean, getting them out's not too hard, let's be honest. I'm getting them out pretty easily. Now, just don't drop them into the bike, like into the engine bay area, because you might struggle to get them out. And then literally just flip this over. Now, I know, I'm aware you guys are probably going to be a bit nervous yanking it off like that, but I can assure you it'll just come off. Hopefully you don't break anything, because I've yanked mine off quite a few times and haven't broken anything, so hopefully that'll be the same for you. The first time of me taking that off was really hard, but what I want to do is, you can just get down here now. There's a bolt here as well. I'm gonna put my wires down here. So yeah, I think I'll be able to do it with just bending this out and then just threading the cables through there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the wiring harness somewhat in place, figure out where I need to have the bottom of this to not get in the way of the throttle. So I'm just gonna, oh, this is actually really snug on there, fair. Okay, we'll do that. And we'll do this side. This side's gonna be easy, isn't it? Yeah. Just the glue is in the way a little bit. But what you want to do basically is you don't want this part here to get in the way of your clutch lever. Don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you can. So yeah, so you don't want this part obviously being here and then getting in the way of your clutch, because it means that you won't be able to pull the clutch in all the way. So what you want to do is have this turned down so you can pull the clutch. So yeah, this is going to be perfect on there. So yeah, so like that, I can pull the clutch in all the way to fully disengage, and then what I'm going to do with this cable, I'm just going to wrap it back on itself down the main wiring loom. And then yeah, so I think that'll be a nice neat job there. And then same for the other side, but obviously you've got to put the glue on. And I think the best thing to do with the glue is just to put it on the end. Don't put it on the whole grip. This grip is pretty solid on there, so a little bit of glue will just stop it from spinning. But I suppose if you're doing this on like a Tenere, I'd say put quite a lot of glue on, because as you're getting out of the seat and moving the bike and jumping over things, you're going to use this as like leverage on the bike, the grip. So you're probably most likely going to move the grip, and basically you're not going to have a throttle there because it's just going to spin around on you. But same thing on this side. Wow, this grip is tight on there. That's good though. Jeez, it's really tight on here. Might need some lubrication to just get it on, but and then you're stuck. Yeah, that grip is on there, boy. Alright, I don't think you're gonna need any form of like glue on this side, because this grip is like, it's on there. Like, I'm needing to like really tug at this now, or push, sorry. Jeez, that grip is on there, boy. Maybe it's because I cleaned it up so much with the disc brake cleaner, but I wanted to make sure the glue had something to lock onto. Yeah, that's tight on there. Wowzers. Oh, jeez. My hand's starting to bottom out onto the actual end of the bar now. Wowzers. That's tight. I kind of want to tap it on with a hammer. Maybe I'll try that with a mallet. Just a little bit, just to see what happens. Obviously, be careful. This is your throttle tube. Yeah, that's going to be fine, that is. Yeah, if you're still throttle on, clutch in, revving, you can still pull the brake in. So I think that sort of angle will be alright. Now obviously with this, you need a little bit of slack in this cable. So what I'll probably do is just zip tie it there so the cable's loose, because what I hear often is the right grip will go out really quick because this cable's moving too much and it's too tight, and it will break down the cable on the inside and it'll stop working. So that grip is on there. I am not putting any glue on that side. That side is tight, like ridiculously tight. But yeah, this side definitely some glue on that bad boy, definitely 100%. But what I want to do is not put any glue on anything yet until I've got everything situated. So I'm guessing this here is both your grips, and then power, and then screen. Now this is the screen bracket here. We good for time? How long are we recording for? All right. This is the bracket here. Now I think you're supposed to fit it here, right? But I don't know where to fit it really. I don't know if I should fit it just on the side here. Not too sure. I need to figure out where to put this, or do I just put it on the bracket and just literally just bolt it onto there? I'm gonna have to straighten this bracket out a little bit. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna straighten this bracket out and then just literally just put it there. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So if you haven't got a vise, then try use two big pair of pliers or something. But if you have got a vise, then just whack it in the vise. I know I need to tidy up. It's a mess. So just straighten this bracket out. gonna leave it a bit curved. Leave it like that, I guess. See what the fit is like. Yeah, that'd be solid on there. Might have to use some washers. I'm pretty sure they supply some washers and maybe a new bolt for you to use. Yeah, they provide you with a few different bolts, a few different bits of hardware. So I think that will work. And then, are you supposed to screw this bracket on? Yeah. So a little instruction manual there. So you can use either that bolt or that hole to mount it. So you can use that hole or that hole. Probably going to use that one so it's actually in view nicely. So yeah, so this bracket, you got 4 screws there, and it actually screws into the unit. So let's just do that then. Let's empty this bag. These are all the screws that you get in a bag. And then I'm just gonna screw this on. These are self-tapping screws, so try to get the screw as straight as possible. Right, once you've got that 4 bolts in and it's all fitted, then what you can start to do is take it off of here. By the way, if you're like thinking, oh, I don't have this tool, I don't have that tool, Halford's Advance. Cool, yeah, that works. So I've got bolt, washer, bracket, and then a spacer. So this actually moved a little bit, this did. Let's move it back to where I had it there, cool. And then let's hold the bracket, snug that up. What I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna send these wires down this little loop here. It's getting tight in this area now with all the accessories I got on this bike, must admit. So is it underneath the seat. It looks like a load of spaghetti mess in there. So well. Pull these cables through here. So through the top yoke and then out here. Done. So now the cables are out here, yeah? So now what I want to do is figure out the best route for these cables to go. I think it's literally going to be the same thing but on the other side. Or do I route them on the same side? I'm going to go this side, route them down here. Get the end of the cable. Now this is going to be a bit tricky, guys, I must admit. Like routing cables, it's not easy, especially in small spaces like here. So what the whole idea of this is as well is you don't want the cables to have loads of tension under them, because you want your steering to be free, and you don't want any cables to like restrict the steering. Because when you go, if you go out now with the heated grips on, you're like, oh yeah, heat grips, and you turn left and it doesn't turn left, you're just going to go straight. So you want to make sure that your handlebars, you can still turn freely without any of the cables like restricting you. Alright, so you just route this cable down this hole as well. So this is for the left heated grip. We've done the right heated grip. Now we're doing the left heated grip. So put that down there. Now what I'm going to do, now I've got these cables in situ, I'm going to start zip tying it and making it all neat from up above, and then work my way down. So they provide you with zip ties and everything, but I've got quite a few zip ties of my own. So I'm just going to use my own zip ties in a bag. I'm just going to start zip tying this cable. So this cable, obviously this grip here doesn't move at all. So as we're going to start zip tying the cable up, what I'm going to do is use some of the glue now. I'm guessing this is going to be sealed up. Yeah, so you're going to puncture the glue. There we go. Put that on there. I'm just going to dribble some glue all over this a little bit. A nice band of glue around there. I think this is like super glue basically. Smells like it. And then just put my cap on. And then remember the position of this. Now slide this on. Make sure your clutch lever doesn't touch anything. Beautiful. Now let that cure. Try not to bend that cable now. And then there's some lovely little cables here. We've got the main wiring loom for the switches. I'm going to put the zip tie around that one. I'm not going to put the zip tie around the other little wire for your clutch switch, because it's quite a small wire. I don't want to put too much stress on that cable. And then just zip tie that. Yeah, I'm getting glue all over myself now. Alright, no worries. Let's get some blue towel. Oh, sorry, got my ugly face in the picture. Yeah, it smells like super glue. It is super glue. It's drying so quick. Alright, well, rub the excess off quick before it dries. Cool. So that's on there. That feels like a thick grip. Alright, let's put the bar end on. Make sure the bar end fits. I'm sure it will. There we go. Bar end is going on. Now you do want to do this bolt up quite tight. It's holding your bar end on. So when the bike goes down, that needs to take some abuse. But that's looking really nice actually. Don't you think? That grip looks quite nice on there. It looks quite clean. It's quite flush with the bar end. The cable looks good. I'd say that was good, that side. Now what I'm going to also do is I'm going to zip tie round the additional wiring loom. There's like a sleeve going over the wiring loom. The plastic, the cables go through the plastic here, through this like accessory bar. So I'm going to put a zip tie around that part where all the cables meet for this switch as well. I've got that switch quite tight there. There you go. So you've got a bit of slack in that now. Right, it flexes as well, the thing. That's all right. It works. It's quite easy to reach as well if you... Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Okay, so now let's finish off the wiring loom. Lovely. I'm just going to whack another zip tie around here, just at the bottom. Lovely jubbly. Now you've got these two cables now. We're good on the top now. The top is all done, apart from cutting the zip tie type ends on. Is that still dribbling? That's still dribbling glue everywhere. Geez, that glue, you really don't need to put that much glue on. I remember researching in these, I saw people lathering this up with glue. It's just dripping all over the place. Luckily it's not dripped over onto my actual bike. Alright, so you've got your two sides, you've got your left and your right. They can only go in one side. Alright, so once you've got that all set up and all plugged in to the thing, to the both sides, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck this wiring harness under the tank. But before I'm going to do that, I'm going to just wrap these in a bit of tape. Just some electrical tape, just to stop any like rattles, because rattling I find extremely annoying on a motorbike. So I've just got myself some electrical tape here. And obviously you've got some extra wiring harness. So you want to like somehow tie that up and make that all neat as well. So I'm going to tie these up like this and then put this back on itself. Just tie that up like that, I think. Leave these two loose here and just tape these up. Just so they don't rattle and it's just one piece. So just gonna get the electrical tape, take these up. It's all like one wiring loom then, because it's quite messy, I must admit. Like the actual wiring loom is quite messy. I wish it was a little bit more, I wish the connectors were a bit thinner and not as bulky as they are, because they are really bulky cables. They're not like these white cables ends. Now, I don't know, I'm very tempted just to solder them in, to be honest. So once that's all done, now I think instead of routing the harness and everything, this harness on that side that I normally do, I think that side's just getting a bit too cluttered. So luckily, by accident, this is now on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that there. I'm going to zip tie this down here, and I'm going to tuck this wiring loom down the side of the bike, just here. So what I've done is I've routed the cable along here underneath this bracket. It does fit underneath, you just got to kind of wedge it in there. So now that cable's solid down that side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my zip ties and just zip tie this wiring loom up. Okay, so now is the time where you could potentially test them, put the connectors on and test it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wire it into ignition on. And while we're here, get your side cutters. Let's move the camera again. Just going to, with some nice side cutters, just cut all the zip ties nice and flush. Cool, so your throttle's working lovely and smooth and light. It's not catching on anything. When you're here, you can steer fine with no cables catching or anything. So there you go, done. So now what you can do is you can get your lid, put it over the top now. There we go, lid is back on. All you need to do is get your bolts out and your former Allen key. Just put your bolts back. I like to do them by hand just to start out, just so you don't cross thread anything. There we go. And just screw these bad boys in. nice and snug. You don't need to go Incredible Hulk on them. They're just literally just holding this plastic cover on. That's all they're there for. So now it's the home stretch now. Just make sure all this is all down and clipped in. Solid. Alright, so now is the part where is a bit tricky. So I have got switch live up here, and I've also got switch live on this cable here. Now what I can do is I can tap into this for this, and what I could do is run it off the same fuse if I wanted to as well. Curiosity, let's see what fuse is in here. 5 amp. It's a little 5 amp fuse. Jeez, that is tiny. I bet it's bigger in here. But it's like a 10 or something. 75. Jeez. Oh, 7.5. Okay, cool. So we can just leave that. So I've got quite a lot of. I've wired in quite a bit here. So I've got switch live off of that. That's for the dash cam setup. And I've got another tapped in cable here off switch live. It's getting a bit messy now because I've added this the other day because my quad lock, I was using the quad lock, but now I don't use the quad lock. I'm using a Apple CarPlay screen now. So I could take this out, this plug, or I could leave it in as a spare, because what I could do also is just run a cable to my top box and charge something up in my top box or something, or have an Insta360 on there with a cable charging it continuously. So what I think I'll do is I think I'll just tap into this again. This is unpluggable, so maybe I'll remove the plug and just hardwire it into the bike, and it will get rid of this chunky cable. I think that's what I'm gonna do, guys. Okay, let's crack on. So what you want to do, you want to cut one cable at a time. You don't want to cut both. Get that out of the way. Cut the other cable. Those are now both out of the way. 2 separate cables. This one you can just cut straight through because nothing's attached to it power wise. I'm going to chop that off. That cable thing is massive. So now we've got this. And now also you've got this massive wiring loom off of that plug. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten it. I'm just going to cut it straight there. Obviously you've got to figure out which side, or do I not? Do I just coil it up and then just cut these ends off? So that's red, so fuse, red, earth, black, no fuse. I think that I'm going to make my life easier and just do that. So I have got some wire cutters. What I've also got is my little soldering station as well. So I'm going to whack that on. Roby, bloody brilliant. I don't care what anybody says in the trade. Oh, Roby is for people that are just doing stuff at home. I've been in a trade that's needed power tools, and that is just brilliant. I've never had anything better. So I've cut the ends off of that. That's all ready to go. Now obviously you guys want to get yourself some heat shrink as well, and some you want some flux. That's to keep the oxygen away from your solder. And then I've got solder here as well, and then I've got some some heat shrink. Now, heat shrink, wrap it up in whatever colour you want. Black, red, white, yellow, green, doesn't matter. As long as you know that you've got 2 cables running through that are both live and neutral, just wrap it in whatever colour. Unless you want to be all picky, then obviously wire it up however you want to wire it up. So I've got here negative, positive. These are both live right now. Actually no, they're not live because key ignition is off, but obviously don't touch them together anyway, just in case. So those are those. Right, so grab yourself some heat shrink. You want a decent size heat shrink, probably just that, and that probably would do it. 2 cables. Try not to drop your big tub of heat shrink because that'll be a pain in the ass to clean up. Alright, so now I've got 2 cables to wire up individually. So red, fuse, black, earth. Let's cut these little ends off. Alright, so the earth's the fuse side is red, so positive, and then the side that doesn't have a fuse is negative, so black. And then as you've got all your ends ready to go and they're all twisted together and made all nice and pretty, get your flux out, just dip your ends in, a bit of flux. This flux is a bit cold and a bit old, so I'm just going to put the soldering iron in there. Woo! Smelly stuff this is. It's fumes basically off it, so try not to breathe it in as I breathe it in. So put a bit of flux on all the ends, all the cables. So chaps, my camera died, but what you want to do is you want to tint the ends of the cables, and you want the fuse to go to the red. So that's to the red. Just gonna get a bit more solder on the end of my soldering iron. Alright, get that all tinted, all lovely jubbly. And then you want the black side to go on the black side. Obviously, so this is me wiring up a USB plug as well on the thing as well. Okay, so that's done. Now I've got red and I got black. So red is fused, so let's solder these up now. Can you see that, guys? You can see that, lovely jubbly. Alright, let's solder these bad boys in here then. All soldered up. Now I'm going to slide my heat shrink over the solder joint on both sides. And then I've got the big pieces to go over the top of that as well. And then get your lighter. I'll start heat shrinking that heat shrink. Cool, so that's done. Heat shrinked. Now I just got to tidy these wires up. Spaghetti mess, more spaghetti mess under the bike. The more and more accessories that you fit to your bike, just be mindful, you're just gonna have a load of spaghetti mess. I haven't yet come up with a solution on how to stop this spaghetti mess becoming a spaghetti mess, really. As long as your solder joints are good, you don't need to worry about any hazards with fire, let's say, or anything. Luckily everything's fused. Like, there's a fuse there, there's a fuse there, there's a fuse for that, there's a fuse for the heat grips and everything. So I'm not really worried about anything in terms of how badly or how unneat the wiring is. I think it's not too bad. I'd love to get one of those like big blocks where you have key ignition on wired into that block, and then you have all the accessory plugged into it. But we can't have everything, so this is how I've done it. This is how it's gonna stay. So let's see what these heated grips are all about. Ignition on. Heated grip should turn on now. Yes sir. You can hear they've drawn some power from it. Let's see if these heated grips get powered up now. So as you can see, they are on. That power mode, that lights. Let's turn this bike on actually. Alright guys, you probably can't hear me, but let's feel these heated grips. See if they get hot. They're getting hot, boys. They are getting hot. Now guys, when I turn the ignition off, these are going to turn off as well. And as you can see, they turned off with the ignition. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted, because I don't want this to drain my bike. So heated grips are fitted. They're still warm to the touch. The right one is warm as well. Both warm. They both feel good. I can open and close the throttle nicely. The cables are looking relatively neat. All the controls are working. Even if I press the throttle or twist the throttle, everything is sweet. So guys, that is how to fit Oxford heaters or heated grips to your Yamaha Tracer 7. And I suppose this is the same sort of process in terms of the cockpit area as the Tenere 7 and the MT-07 and the other one that has the same engine. Yeah guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope this video has been informative, and I hope that I have helped you fit your heated grips to your motorbike. Cheers chaps, see you in the next one.